What's your opinion on these other methods of creating magnetic fields? Say we're just going to compare the copper coils that you use mostly to these ferrite rods or copper or ferrite cores. I think they're also known as. What's the difference between these, and why is one better than the other?
So, like when we do science, right, we try to follow a protocol, and we try to be as clear and precise with our goal as what we want. There is no such thing as bad thing and good things in science per se. We look at it as, what is my goal? What am I trying to achieve? And what is the best, most efficient way to get there? I'm just going to do a quick tangent with lights. There's no such thing as bad lights. It's just bad lighting, yes, but not bad lights. So if you put like a floodlight on your car, that's useless. But if you put a floodlight in your yard, that's perfect, okay? So same thing with coils. There's no such thing as a bad coil or a good coil. But if I use a PMF coil inside an electronic device, it's going to be horrible, because that's not what they're designed for. They're designed to create like a nice big fountain, to create a big wide area. So that way we have a nice big floodlight. On the other hand, a ferrule, like when they use that compound inside, it's designed to contain the EMF. It's designed to channel it. It's designed to shunt it in such a way. Shunting is just manipulation of field. That's just a fancy word for that. So we manipulate the field to make it do what we want. You have mu metal, for example. It's also designed to protect the electronics from the radiation of the EMF, so you contain it. So this ferromagnetic material, right, the way they use it and they wrap it around. Have you ever seen those clamps that you put around like a wire, and it's designed to filter the noise? Yeah, that's because all the electromagnetic field will circle around itself. So in essence, it's like the same thing as putting a cap onto your in front of your flashlight. You're stopping a lot of the light to come out, right? Now, if you're looking for a special effect, yes, that's perfect. But for PEMF, unfortunately, to date, maybe 10 years, 100 years from now, we'll find a better way of doing it. But right now, as far as we know, as far as we understand science, the donut-shaped coil air core is the best way of doing it. It's just physics. And for what we want to do, with biological exposure to PEMF, right? Yeah. So I can show you a picture. Let me show you a picture. It's a simulation so I had to use a magnet here because my simulation does not allow me to use a ferromagnetic coil this way. But the way it's designed is very similar to the magnet, right? It's designed so the electromagnetic field that comes out of it goes back and short circuit itself back into the material inside. So you get all these things in very low radiation. You compare that to a donut-shaped coil, and all of a sudden you see the radiation on the donut shape is designed to make a fountain. Like, this is what we want. We want to expose as much of our cell as possible to it, right? So you got a fountain action versus, like I said, you put this on electronic components like your computer, this would be destructive. It would be horrible. You want something like this. And this is why we see this type of coil inside electronics all the time. So the magnetic field is contained as close as possible without too much radiation. So that's the picture right there. Now you're laying on top of this. Obviously, we want to have the fountain of youth. We want to have the fountain of wellness, right? So, and like you said so clearly, using this type of stuff allows you to cheat, okay? And those companies, that's what they do, because you can focus the EMF very well and very close to the coil, so you can reach with very little power a really high gauss. So all of a sudden you can declare, oh, I make 500 gauss, or I make 30 gauss, or I make 50 gauss. Well, in reality, there's no penetration. There's nothing. You'd be better off having a lower gauss donut-shaped coil than a higher gauss ferrule coil, just because of that.